right.
Okay.
Part action programs.
So we're group 1.
We're group 1.
And
lower loop.
the lower loop, and it's basically
the happy face.
yeah. So we're talking about this whole swath of land south of Embarcadero Hall, and then out to this kind of like moons.
Look, and there we are.
So Acorn, perfect people's community center and surrounding businesses.
So what do we like about this, best about this place? I think the fact that it exists at all, and when you have so much density in Isla Vista, to have this island of green, and that it's so large, so the size of it, that it's open, and that it has a lot of history, and that it's actually centrally located in Isla Vista. It's proximate to so many people and so many uses. It's kind of, I think of it as kind of an essential park for Isla Vista. Things to improve the place that could be done right away wouldn't cost a lot of money. Lighting. It's not very well utilized right now by people, and either you walk around it or on the other side of it, but you don't necessarily walk through it. Temporary art installations, seating like beanbags we've seen today. It really needs trash receptacles. They're random picnic tables, but there's no place to put your trash when you're done. Barbecue pits, and a lot of roll-out sort of amenities like roll-out piano, roll-out ping pong table. Really, so much so that we need a place to put it all. Because the space is large, and we're talking about transit and transportation, is that bicycle racks in the park would draw people to want to be in the park, knowing that the bicycle is not parked too far away.
Well, what about bicycle parking in the parking, like taking parking spaces?
Yeah,
Sure.
we did talk about this
Reclaiming that
particular
space
parking
for
space, which is really unfortunate, but yes, and that could be a very easy short-term thing to actually put those right in there.
One of the, I mean, it's underutilized now, no doubt, but one of the best things we have going is our community center. So once that's open and going, that's going to change everything with that park, and it's going to give us the ability to store things like roll-out pianos and ping pong tables and things like that. So we had ideas for a kiosk. The history of that park is really interesting, and a kiosk could have some of the cultural history, park history around here. It could have things, information about what you can do in Isla Vista. Again, equipment storage. This little spot here has been talked about as a skateboard park on and off, and we got some feedback that from some people that they thought that would be a good spot for that. The paths that get used right now, there were definitely, this one's getting used all the time. People are going through that one, but if we had more paths going, and then I've seen people over time use the Memorial Garden ones, but if we had more designated paths from different areas going into that central area, we might get more use there. The topography is really nice. It's got a mixture of, grass and planted areas, but it would be, water's an issue at the district, definitely. So if we wanted to make more green, sustained spaces in there, we there's talk of, can we get reclaimed water? Can we cross the eucalyptus curtain and somehow try to get reclaimed water into Isla Vista parks, because that would make it much, much easier for us. The pike is a short distance away. This is a pretty big green swath in Isla Vista, and if we had access to that, that would make a huge difference. Looking at Little Acorn, Lieutenant Signo, we had the soccer game out here over Friendship, over Meet Your Neighbors weekend, and he was talking about how all the balls were rolling into the street. So some kind of slight, he talked about a fence, but maybe even a berm that could be a sitting area, they could add some landscaping to it, and a little change in the topography might open this up so that people could play more games in that spot. And then just more events, and then the trick is, how do we get sustained events? And we asked, a couple of gals came through, and we asked what they liked, and they liked the trees, and they liked the plants, and they liked the grassy areas. And then we asked, what would you like more of? And they liked lights, and they liked more grass. So that kind of ties into some of our thoughts on the place too. And as far as partnerships, this is a great spot for trying to partner with the art programs over at UCSB. because we could see this as like a movable sculpture garden over time. You know, visiting sculptors come through, put stuff out there. Certainly Rec and Park, the university, the businesses on the loop. The community center is huge. You know, that's going to be what totally activates that area. Community fundraisings. And one of the gals in our group said that they want to help, but that it's hard to lead. And so if people want to do things, but there needs to be structure for them to be able to do the volunteer work and stuff like that would happen over there. But, gals, anything else?
Yeah, to add on to the kiosk, currently working on a community calendar so that there can be like a map of Isla Vista on there, like with all the hot spots, all the parks, and then the calendar hopefully would be digitized so that it's constantly updated. And then it being surrounded by something beautiful so that it's not graffitied or like wrecked. And and going on with the lighting, we're having the IV lights, right? And there's like yeah, and there's 2 grants for $10,000 and 10 for $1,000. So even by telling those artists that this could possibly be not permanent, because permanent is a hard word to use, but this can be something that can stay here for a while, so that these parks could be lit up at night, and that can be kind of immediate for us.
Yeah. And right now, I mean, the site is used Saturday mornings. We have some folks in here that do a great program that feed folks in the mornings, and want to make sure we don't lose the things that we have going, and that more than anything, it's how do we diversify that space? How do we get more people using it? How do we get people in different parts of Isla Vista safely getting to that area?
I mean, it's amazing that Del Playa is just 1 block away.
Right.
The whole park district is 1 block from there.
Yeah, and First Fridays, you know, I've seen some great events in there with First Fridays. It's just, you know, how do we sustain this? How do we keep this going so that we don't burn out? So, yeah.
Thank you. Awesome.
All right.